All right, let's jump right in. We've got some pretty exciting news today. Blending design, manufacturing, and a really global hobby.
Yeah, it sounds fascinating. Bandai Spirits, right.
Exactly. They're famous for their plastic models, especially Gunpla, and they're opening a brand new museum down in Shizuoka, Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, today we're really digging into what is this museum, why Shizuoka, and what does it signal about model building, especially with Gunpla hitting its 45th anniversary.
It sounds like it's more than just looking at finished models, though. The idea is to kind of pull back the curtain, right?
Yeah, show the artistry and the engineering behind it all.
Which is great.
So just to make sure everyone's on the same page,
Yeah.
a quick refresher. We talk about Plamo, which is just plastic models, generally cars, planes, you name it.
Right, the broader category. And then there's Gunpla.
The stars of the show, arguably.
Mm-hmm.
Models specifically from Mobile Suit Gundam, those giant cool robots.
Iconic, yeah. The hobby kicked off way back in 1980, and the tech has just, well, exploded since then.
Oh, definitely. I mean, those early kits, they often needed glue, paint. It could be a bit intimidating.
Sure. A higher barrier to entry.
But Bandai really shook things up, didn't they? They brought in things like snap fit assembly.
Where parts just click together. No glue needed for many kits.
Huge change. And multicolor injection molding.
Yeah, getting different colored parts on the same runner, the same plastic frame, made building way more accessible, faster too.
And you have different grades, like high grade, master grade.
Yeah.
Something for everyone, basically.
Exactly. It's all part of how Gunpla became this, global thing. It appeals to so many different people.
Okay, so Shizuoka, you mentioned that earlier. Why there for this big museum? What's special about Shizuoka?
Well, Shizuoka isn't just some random city. It's known historically as Japan's plastic model capital.
Oh, really? Like the birthplace?
Pretty much. A lot of the big model companies started there. So putting the Bandai Hobby Center and now this museum there, it's a nod to that whole legacy. It's right in the heartland.
That makes sense. And the museum concept, it's called an attractive factory. Mizuru Kojo.
That's the one. It translates roughly to a factory you can show off, or maybe a factory that shows you things.
So transparency.
Exactly. Letting you see the precision, the machines, the actual human skill that goes into making these incredibly detailed kits. The idea is to build appreciation, not just for the cool finished robot, but for the whole journey.
That definitely changes how you might look at that little plastic tree of parts next time. So what's the visitor experience actually like inside?
Well, there's a study area first. You get to learn about the history, the tech, get insights from the factory itself.
Okay, context.
But the real standout, I think, is the laboratory area.
Ah, yes, I heard something about this. You can kind of simulate being a designer.
You really can. You experience steps like the 3D modeling part, figuring out colors, even mold design, which is super complex,
Oh.
and packaging.
Wow.
And you actually get a souvenir designer ID and some original packaging to take home. It makes the whole thing less abstract.
A designer ID? That's pretty cool. Stepping into those shoes, even for a bit,
Right.
makes that craftsmanship idea really tangible.
Definitely. And of course, there's a gallery too.
To see what the pros can do.
Absolutely. See the amazing potential in these kits. It connects Bandai's own history of innovation, from snap fit to modern CAD, with where the hobby is going.
It really feels like they're investing in the future of the hobby, trying to keep it, well, alive and kicking,
Yeah.
especially when so much is digital now.
It really is. Building something physical like this, it takes patience, focus, attention to detail. Those are valuable skills, period. And yeah, in a digital world, having this tactile, creative outlet, it's important. It could even get younger people interested in design or engineering, STEM fields.
That's a great point. Plus, Gunpla already has that huge global community, right? Competitions, online groups.
Totally. Like the Gunpla Builders World Cup.
Yeah.
This museum gives that community a kind of physical touchstone, a place to see where it all comes from. It promotes the value of actually making things.
So, yeah, this new museum seems like a really unique window into a much-loved hobby. It sits right at that crossroads of industry, art, and community.
It really does. And maybe it leaves you with something to think about. In our world, which is, let's face it, increasingly virtual,
Yeah.
what's the value of building something real, something physical with your own hands? And how can experiences like this museum celebrating the process of creation help keep that spark going for the next generation?
Definitely food for thought. Well, if you found this look behind the scenes of model making interesting, make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss our future deep dives into all sorts of compelling topics.